In every moment of pain, silence, and waiting, one truth remains constant. Allah never ignores dua. Sometimes the answer comes quickly, sometimes it arrives after patience, and sometimes Allah replaces our request with something far better. A believer's prayer is never wasted. Every sincere dua is heard by the one who created the heavens and the earth. This motivational speech will remind hearts that no tear, no whisper, and no silent prayer goes unnoticed by Allah. Many people carry pain in their hearts that nobody else can see. There are moments when a person feels completely alone, surrounded by silence, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. In those difficult times, the most powerful comfort is knowing that Allah hears every single prayer. No matter how quietly you whisper your dua, Allah listens with complete knowledge of your feelings, fears, and hopes. Human beings may misunderstand you, ignore you, or fail to recognize your struggles, but Allah never turns away from a sincere heart. Sometimes a believer raises their hands in prayer after every salah, asking for relief, guidance, success, healing, or peace. Days may pass without visible change. Doubts can slowly enter the mind. But the acceptance of dua does not depend on how quickly the result appears. Allah hears the prayer the moment it leaves your lips. Every tear, every silent cry in the darkness of night, every word spoken from a broken heart is fully known to Him. There are prayers people cannot even express properly because the pain is too deep for words. Even then, Allah understands what is hidden inside the chest. He knows the sadness behind a smile, the fear behind silence, and the struggle behind patience. A believer should never think their voice is too small or their problems are too insignificant for Allah. The Creator of the universe listens to every servant equally. Many times Allah answers in ways a person cannot immediately recognize. A difficulty may be removed quietly, a disaster may be prevented, or strength may be placed in the heart without the person realizing it. What feels like silence can actually be Allah, protecting, preparing, and guiding someone towards something far better than they imagined. One of the hardest challenges for any believer is waiting. People naturally want quick answers to their prayers because pain feels unbearable when it continues for too long. When someone makes dua repeatedly and still does not see immediate results, they may begin to feel discouraged. But delays in life are not signs that Allah has ignored a prayer. Often the delay itself carries wisdom, mercy, protection that a person cannot yet understand. Human beings see only a small part of reality. They focus on the present moment while Allah sees the entire future. A person may ask for something believing it will bring happiness, but Allah knows whether it will truly benefit them or lead them toward harm. Sometimes a blessing arrives late because the heart, mind, or circumstances are not ready for it yet. If Allah gave everything instantly, many people would receive things that could damage their faith, peace, or future. There are moments when a believer becomes frustrated because they compare their lives to others. They see people around them succeeding, getting opportunities, or receiving what they prayed for long ago. This comparison can create sadness and impatience, but every person has a different journey written by Allah. What is delayed for one person may become more beautiful and meaningful because of the waiting period. The waiting itself also transforms the believer. During difficult seasons, a person learns patience, trust, humility, and dependence upon Allah. Hearts become stronger through trials. Faith grows deeper when someone continues making dua despite uncertainty. Many people later realize that if Allah had answered their prayer immediately, they would not have become the person they are today. Allah's timing is always perfect, even when it feels painful. A closed door today may actually save someone from future regret. A delayed opportunity may eventually arrive in a far better form than expected. What seems like silence can actually be preparation for something greater than the mind can imagine. Many people misunderstand the meaning of an accepted dua. They believe Allah only answers prayers when they receive exactly what they asked for in the exact way they imagined. When that does not happen, disappointment enters the heart, and some even begin to think their prayers were ignored. But in reality, every sincere dua made with faith reaches Allah, and every prayer receives a response in one form or another. Sometimes Allah grants the exact thing a person asked for. The answer comes clearly and directly, bringing happiness and relief. Other times, Allah delays the response because the right moment has not yet arrived. A believer may not understand the reason for the delay, but Allah's wisdom is greater than human understanding. What appears slow to people is perfectly timed by the Creator, who knows every detail of the future. There are also moments when Allah answers a prayer differently than expected. A person may ask for one specific opportunity, relationship, or outcome, but Allah replaces it with something better. At first, the believer may feel sadness or confusion because they cannot see the hidden wisdom behind the situation. Later, many realize that what they originally wanted could have brought pain, regret, or hardship into their lives. Allah's protection often works quietly in ways the human mind cannot immediately recognize. Some du'as are answered through unseen blessings. Harm may be removed from a person's path without them ever knowing it. Difficulties may become lighter, hearts may become stronger, or future problems may be prevented because of sincere prayer. Even when the visible result is unclear, Allah is still responding with mercy and care. A believer should never think that repeated prayers are meaningless. Every dua strengthens the connection between the servant and Allah. Every moment spent asking Allah with sincerity carries reward and spiritual closeness. Nothing spoken to Allah is ever wasted. The one who hears every whisper responds with perfect wisdom, mercy, and knowledge that reaches far beyond human understanding. Allah loves those servants who continue turning toward Him in every situation. Dua is not only about asking for help during difficult times, it is also a sign of trust, faith, and dependence upon the Creator. Every time a believer raises their hands in prayer, they are admitting that true power belongs only to Allah. This sincerity and humility are deeply beloved to Him. Many people stop making dua when answers seem delayed. Shaitan places doubts in their hearts, making them feel that their prayers no longer matter. But Allah never becomes tired of listening to His servants. In fact, Allah loves when a believer continues asking with hope and certainty. Constant dua shows strong faith because it means the person still believes in Allah's mercy even during hardship. The lives of the prophets provide powerful examples of patience and persistence in prayer. They faced severe trials, loneliness, rejection, illness, and fear, yet they never stopped calling upon Allah. Their connection with Allah became stronger through continuous dua. Even when years passed without visible change, they remained hopeful because they trusted Allah completely. There are moments when a believer feels emotionally exhausted and thinks about giving up. During those times, continuing to make dua becomes an act of worship and strength. A person may not realize how much spiritual growth is happening inside their heart while they continue seeking Allah. Repeated prayers soften the heart, increase patience, and build a deeper relationship with the Creator. Dua also reminds believers that they are never truly alone. No matter how difficult life becomes, there is always a door open toward Allah's mercy. A servant can speak to Him at any hour, in any language, and in any condition. This closeness brings peace that cannot be found in worldly things. The more a believer turns toward Allah sincerely, the more they begin to understand that dua itself is a blessing. Being able to call upon Allah, trust Him, and feel connected to Him is one of the greatest gifts a person can experience in life. Many people believe that a difficult life means Allah is unhappy with them. But hardship is often a sign that Allah is preparing a person for something greater. Throughout history, the people most loved by Allah faced some of the hardest trials. Pain, loss, waiting, disappointment are all part of the journey of faith. These moments test the strength of a believer's trust and teach lessons that comfort and ease can never provide. When life becomes difficult, people often ask why they are suffering despite praying sincerely. The answer is not always visible immediately because Allah's wisdom operates beyond human understanding. Sometimes hardship removes arrogance from the heart and brings a person closer to Allah. A believer who once relied completely on worldly things may begin turning toward prayer, patience, and faith after experiencing struggle. Trials also reveal inner strength that a person never knew they possessed. During painful moments, believers learn patience, emotional resilience, gratitude, and sincerity. The challenges that seem impossible today can eventually become the reason someone grows spiritually and emotionally stronger. Many people later look back at their hardest seasons and realize those moments changed their lives in positive ways. Allah can transform situations in ways no human being expects. A person may lose one opportunity only to receive something far better later. A closed door can lead toward protection from future regret or harm. What appears to be failure may actually be divine redirection toward a better path. This is why believers should never lose hope during difficult times. Even after long periods of sadness, Allah can change circumstances within moments. A single prayer can open doors that once seemed impossible. A problem that lasted for years can disappear through Allah's mercy and power. Nothing is difficult for the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Hardship is never permanent. Every test carries hidden wisdom, and every difficulty comes with the possibility of growth, purification, and future blessings. Those who continue trusting Allah during painful seasons often discover that the struggle itself became the path toward greater peace, strength, and closeness to Him. One of the greatest signs of true faith is continuing to trust Allah, even when the answer is not yet visible. It is easy to believe when life is going well and prayers are answered quickly, but real faith appears during moments of uncertainty. A believer continues making dua, remains patient, and holds on to hope because they know Allah's wisdom is greater than human understanding. Many people become discouraged when they do not see immediate results. They begin questioning whether their prayers are being heard or whether their situation will ever change. These thoughts can weaken hope and create emotional exhaustion. However, believers must remember that Allah is always working behind the scenes, even when nothing seems to be happening outwardly. What appears silent to humans is never silent with Allah. Faith means trusting that Allah knows what is best even before the outcome becomes clear. Sometimes the heart wants one thing while Allah plans something far greater. A person may cry over closed doors without realizing those doors were protecting them from future pain. The believer who continues trusting Allah during confusion and delay develops a deeper and more sincere connection with Him. Patience during waiting periods is one of the strongest forms of worship. Continuing to pray after disappointment shows strength of belief and confidence in Allah's mercy. Every sincere dua made during hardship carries spiritual value, even when the result cannot yet be seen. Allah rewards those who remain hopeful and continue turning toward Him despite challenges. There are moments in life when situations seem completely impossible. Human solutions fail, opportunities disappear, and the future feels uncertain. Yet Allah has the power to change everything in a single moment. A prayer made with sincerity can open doors no person could have imagined. What seems impossible to people is always possible for Allah. Believers should never allow temporary hardship to destroy their hope. Allah's mercy is endless, His timing is perfect, and His plans are always filled with wisdom. The miracle a person is waiting for may already be on its way, even if they cannot see it yet. Allah never ignores dua. Every prayer reaches Him, every tear is counted, and every hardship has wisdom behind it. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep trusting Allah's timing. Your dua may be delayed, but it is never forgotten. The doors of Allah's mercy are always open for those who call upon Him with sincerity and faith.